for a ticket to the top 8.
That's right. Both teams looking to be the alpha at this point. But OG has had a better history at this point. It's up to Alpha Gaming to prove them wrong.
I mean, who's going to go into Group Kings? That's the biggest thing, right? Obviously, there's a lot at stake on this one. You have a much easier ride. Unfortunately, if you happen to be on the losing team, you would have to play another game and then see where you're at in that lower bracket. I mean, it could be a world of disaster, as you could, even in the lower bracket, you might get eliminated.
It might be a world of disaster, and it might be a world of dreams. Who knows what's going to be in the future more than the players right over here. OG Esports is going to be taking the blue side, Alpha Game is going to be taking the red. Oh no, my bad. Alpha Game is going to take the blue, and OG is going to be taking the red.
Okay, so this is a monumental start, right? Every first blood in the game is so important.
I mean, we're going to start with tempo at this point. I mean, I think the biggest thing from OG is like, they're going to just try to protect the jungle as much as possible. APG need to be aggressive and doing the same likewise. But let's talk a little bit about this Flowborn tank. Yulong in the jungle, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think it's okay, but I mean, based on the stats, he has a 0% win rate. He has not won a single series and game in KWC so far.
Those are some heavy and very, very ugly numbers for sure.
Yeah, I mean, teams just haven't really been able to find it out too. You know, they haven't been able to solve it, but throwing it in the jungle, an interesting play here. But more to keep the team alive. I mean, you have a lot of survivability. The Zhang Fei is one of those, and then you have the counter initiation with the Sun Tzu from Dao Hen. So you have the potential ways of just blocking it up because they're going to be aggressive and on top of you, and if you stun them, you're going to be able to take down OG.
It is going to be important just to understand when Alpha Gaming wants to start fighting, right? The way that they're going to spend those initiations is going to be important, right? Like they want to take Muchen's Liang's ultimate out, and they want to put it in one of the tanks.
I mean, that's the idea, but if you're looking at the OG lineup, you know that Wen is going to be high flying, starting things off, is going to have that vision and can dash out whenever he wants. Plus then you have Dao who could go in a moment's notice.
Yep, it is close. Not going to count just yet. Dao putting a little bit of pressure. And with the bolt support coming in from Dao Hen, this is an interesting start, right? Actually, I'm quite curious because OG actually have left pretty much alone in this first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that it's okay. Let the man solo. It's more about the other lanes. Yes, An will be your win condition and can carry you in that late game, but he just needs to survive, not lose anything. I mean, yes, the lane will push, and they'll, you know, APG will even try to focus and give as much space to JD as possible. But An, again, he's not the worst thing right now.
Yep, stun is going to be landed with the suppression as well. One goes in, first blood maybe. Saber, he might give his life, and first blood goes over to OG.
Yeah, and you knew that right when Muchen hits level 4, that potential was going to be there, but the Burning Sun Arrow combination, way too much.
Look at that, OG wants to come in. They're going to force the ulti coming out from JD.
Yep, not ideal, right? JD, he has expended his one escape mechanism and it's T1 pressure on the bottom.
Yeah, OG already playing very fast. You can feel the tempo. I mean, 1.2K lead OG. This is the way that they like to play. They, again, are very aggressive. They get that early kill and then they slowly take away the map.
And I like this, right? An isn't that greedy. Most teams you would see that he actually throws his ultimate, that Burning Sun Arrow, at a very far target, maybe across the entire map.
Yes. Normally, it is just being used just to try to make a very long snipe, right? Like we know that because of the mechanics of that ultimate, the longer the distance that the arrow is going to fly, the longer that the stun is going to happen. But right now, that doesn't seem to be OG's strat at the moment.
Yeah, you don't really need that. I mean, look, just a slight stun is all you need for Muchen to get in position. He also has the flash control if they want to go.
Yep, they go in. This is a second kill available, and this time it goes into the hands of Kirka. And this is a great communication on. He's playing so safe.
And this is why the Liang is just super annoying. Once you hit level 4, every single time that control is off cooldown, you want to be making a gank, and OG doing it to a T thus far.
It needs to be immediate. You saw that the tempo in there in the clash lane was faster because at the farm lane they were unable to take anything back.
Yeah, take a look at that information got by Kirka here. OG knows when the timing of the Zero Golem is, and this is going to be so important later parts of the game.
Yeah, and look at this. The 4-minute mark, teams are starting to kind of congregate around this tyrant, but it looks like it's going to be OG's way. I don't think APG makes it a play on it.
Yeah, maybe Saber doesn't have the smite. He actually took the stun instead.
came in and he just took a vision just to see the Tyrant fall. Nothing he could have done about it.
Nothing he can do. Now On right now in the bottom lane, happily farming. He'll just take this one. I mean, he's soloed, he's isolated, but he's doing a great job.
Hey,
yeah, move chat. He's going in. He's looking for that suppression. Gets it down. Kerker, can they finish the job? Yes, they will. No, Wern actually misses the shot. One more hit. Is it too much? Hang on, Wern. He doesn't get the kill. They will commit the flash, and Kerker, they have to expand quite a bit here.
Yeah, exactly. It took them a little bit longer than what they would have waited for, right? It was taking them a little bit too much. And look at that, the burning arrow comes in, but it's going to be wide.
Yeah, huge commitment there by the top. But they eventually secured it. That's all that really mattered. It wasn't like a complete waste. Yes, some ults were being used and all that, but they got it in the end, and that's going to be a huge win for OG. Again, starting to snowball at this 5-minute mark.
Yeah, this is not ideal. Take a look. Lifesteal already available for DAO. They will be happy to fight on the side of OG.
And look at this, back in there, look at the impact that you're seeing from Wen. He's 0-0-3, yeah, he's not getting in the kills, but his impact from all of the different rotations. They've gotten ganks, and he's gotten 3 assists to his name. What more can you ask for this Mai?
Yeah, it's nothing much, right? At this point, there's so much value that this Mai brings at this point. And DAO free farming, hang on, they get the suppression as well. Not going to get the kill. It's really more of a deterrence, more of that.
But look at that, the farmman is going to be a 2v1. It's going to be JD, the one that's going to be forced to use his ult to get out of there.
Yeah, JD has to use the infinite fastness. That's a feels bad, man, as he just got gone on. DAO just like focusing it down. He had the potential burst, and JD really no answers at this stage.
Crystal clear waters for the side of OG. This is so clean. They're going to try. Saber actually hits onto Kerker, but that boat is coming.
Yeah, that boat is potentially coming, but the top lane is pushing. That's the biggest thing. Again, creating a little bit of space. Yeah, you're kind of like fighting in the mid lane, but the top lane will be pushing, and now OG need to respond.
OG has already a 2,000 gold advantage. When is going to have to be pushed back. They got right now control of the game, but I don't see that APG might be a little bit too crazy about taking it back.
They can't risk it at this point. Augur's Word, that purple wand onto Luna, it's a tank item, right? So it's already something so hard to deal with against DAO. And one more item, Doomsday. That's going to be an important marker for An.
Yeah, and look at this. I mean, look at how scared APG are. They normally would be a lot more aggressive in the enemy jungle. Oh, but that arrow just barely missing.
Yeah, that was a hard attack for them. Kerker catches eyes onto 4 different members. They want to force this T2. And Unbridled Alpha is going to be knocked back at this point by Kerker. Gets the flash as well. Can they get the kill? They're going in. OG, this is their time. They get the kill. 2 members down. Saber and DAO no longer here. PHY tries to delay the inevitable. DAO says no risk to be taken. OG, take the lead.
OG right now looking gigantic, a 2-0 trade, and right now they have complete control of the map. They're going to take the turrets, they're going to take the blue, they will put their hands on anything they want.
Yeah, I mean, DAO, like, we're making some serious plays. Right when that Umbrella offers have been used, I mean, they still burn down Saber, and they focus him down. And DAO was actually looking to dive the T3 base when they didn't even take the T1. Calm down, DAO.
I also want to highlight, I think Wen has done superbly well on this Mai. He's actually assisting the team to get the knockups as well.
It's just like the way that he enters in, right? Like enters in, gets 1 or 2 people stunned, and then immediately the whole OG comes in, congregates, and gets everything that they want.
I mean, taking everything right now. I mean, just looting and pillaging the enemy jungle. They are making a home in the APG jungle.
5,000 gold advantage
really no
Look at that
for this, and they're like taking away the boars. They're taking whatever they want, and it's super uncomfortable.
A nice stun suppression going to be there as well. The Bridal Alpha saves the day for the time being, but OG, they are strong. They're feeling it. DAO goes in. That's a lot of damage. Saber forced to run away to tank. If he's not tanking, what's going to happen to APG? For now, they make it out scot-free.
Nobody can get eyes on An. An is in such an amazing position that Ho is dealing some crazy damage right now.
Actually, perfect positioning by An, right? Like, if he gets gone on, that's a problem. But he's just like ensures that the rest of his team are in front of him, so he's always being body blocked, and then he's letting those arrows fly. He's doing some serious damage right now.
Yeah, I really love his positioning. And at this point, Yulong, he chooses to go in, but the suppression is available. They get it down as well. Where's the backup damage? Both gonna stop them for the time being. But Kerker, he's so tanky. They're throwing the Kachosans as well. Kerker wants to force for more. The backup comes in. He flashes in for PHY, stops and on. Destroys the tower. DAO, what a nice catch. They will not overcommit. One joins the fun as well. Will give his life. APG, they survive, but they barely hang on.
It is nothing that they can do in the moment that OG starts taking the fight.
Yup, the shield comes in, the bolt comes in as well. They managed to catch out DAO. The burst just a little bit shy.
Look, OG went all in on this one. They were trying to make a play. They were trying to get the catch, but almost everyone from APG was wounded, and they did fight on this in that little bit of a skirmish, but they all survived. They made Wen pay for their troubles, and APG, in a way, definitely, with that kill, helped them out.
It did, relieves some pressure, but end of the day, it's a 6,000 goal lead, boys.
It's gotta be something that APG needs to start thinking about. They cannot let that snowball keep going. The suppression comes in one more time, the fight goes.
And the damage is laid on as well. On is free hitting, but the freeze! It comes in, down. Will he make it out? Kaka, support comes in, and OG, they're doing so much damage. PHY, the first one to fall. Nobody has fallen yet on the side of OG. Kaka, a killing spree, and Saber and Dowhan. They have to run for their life, but where can you run when OG is on fire? Dowhan!
There is nothing that Dowhan can do. He's gonna try to go and try to run away for his life. Dowhan's gonna find, he's gonna take the kill, and the minions are coming in for both the mid and the farm lane.
Yeah, DAO, they're being fed there. I mean, they were just completely funneling it to him, making sure that they got it. What a great initiation. Arrow's gonna miss on this one.
Yeah, it's nothing too big. They have access to the T3s. Keep it simple, boys.
Just like that, they take one, they take a second one, they decide to go back, target acquired.
Target acquired. I mean, taking them all down. I mean, you pick a single one. And I mean, in that last big team fight, I saw Muchen go in onto Yulong. Yes, they had the control, and he's very tanky, and he did survive that one. But it looked like APG were like, actually, we want to fight this one, and that was kind of their downfall.
Yeah, everyone's shouting.
This in here is just such an energetic game. Like, you can hear it from the players at the back that they're just so loud. They want the energy. They have the game in their hands. This is just pumping in my heart.
I mean, I'm not sure whether you can hear it. APG, the players are shouting for them to find an opening, but there isn't any. OG is just so clean.
So clean, so together. I mean, they understand. Look at how far up they are. This is, like, he doesn't need a farm. He just needs to understand where, again, clearing the waves, and then push them back if he sees anybody, and he provide that space for the rest of the team, DAO and On especially, to get that farm.
The stun comes in onto the tank. They will not be able to get the kill here, but it's all about the objectives. T3 under pressure.
It is trying to take that T3. They want to take the turrets. They want super minions coming in from all the lanes. They're not going to be able to do that right now, and they're going to just rotate to the next target.
Yeah. So, our new players, do you know why Word was actually clearing that mid? It's because they want to synchronize all three waves, because you can't deal with all three lanes at the same time.
Yeah, very smart. Very smart play. I mean, just understanding how they do it, but they didn't take the top T3, so that is still a bit of a hurdle they need to cross, but still the Burning Sun Arrow misses yet again by On.
Yep, they don't have to overcommit at this point. OG, the pressure is rising.
It's just going to be a matter of time. Look at that. The next wave, they come in and they take the T3. And now super minions are going to come in from all different waves. Look at that.
Yep, opening goes on to Kirka, but the suppression comes in. A nice save coming in. Yulong is down so low. All they need to do is poke them out, and they choose to go in on the backline. Word with another amazing play. A rampage for DAO. The crystal is open, but there are no minions at the moment.
Saber's supposed to be so tanky, but he cannot be taking no more damage. Look at that. One more stun.
Oh my goodness, it is going to be the end of the game to get JD as well. DAO, the last surviving member, and the crystal is wide open. OG, what a performance.
What a performance. Very clean performance at the end of the day. There was no losing on that one. They had full momentum, even from minute one, and they just carried it throughout. Just a perfect game by OG Esports.
Yeah, look, one is someone I want to learn this mind from. He is so insane, and I also have to highlight, like, Kirka. I think the way he played Byron is so interesting, because most Byrons are going in, I want to get the kill, but Kirka's going for setup.
Yes, exactly. He knows how to play for the team, right? Like, he doesn't want to just go and get the kills just looking out of his KDA. He just wants to go in there and then just be like, okay, what does the team need? Let me provide that.
And I mean, look at this one. I mean, the only thing about OG is that they've really had no hardships in only 3 games at the KWC thus far, right? I mean, this is a huge confidence boost, but sometimes when you're later, you might lose a game, your confidence might be shaken up, and then the true test will happen.
It is such an interesting point, Holler, because up until right now, games against Nonshim, they were not close, and this game right over here, completely just sailing and just kind of like gliding through.
Actually, if you talk to a couple of coaches across the globe, they always say that, you know, winning all the time actually isn't that good of a thing, because then your mistakes are not founded out.
Of course, like, it might be just that right now you are just kind of like gliding through the whole process, but then when it comes to bigger games, when you make it to that top 8, things might change a little bit.
Yeah, and that's going to be the true test, right? And so sometimes, and you kind of saw this with Nongshim, right? In Season 3, they were taking every series to the distance. And so because of that, they learned so many different lessons, and they were getting stronger and stronger as the tournament was playing out.
And I like this, right? You were talking about it. OG likes to go for pace. And boy, the pace of this game was super fast.
They really just got on that Ferrari, right? That Ferrari ride, 0 to 100, super quick, and they never slow down. Amazing performance.
Yeah, and this Ferrari is fueled by the shouts of the OG squad. They are so vocal, and I love the energy that they bring.
Exactly. Last year, Alpha 7 was like the loud house party. This year, OG joins that carriage as well. I think it's so fun.
Do you think that that's going to become a trend, just like becoming very loud? The louder that you become, the more points that you get.
I mean, it definitely helps them, especially within each other, right? Because they're like moving on, they're being aggressive. But the problem is that once we go to the main stage, and potentially, assuming that they win this one, they make their way there. But with the crowd potentially being in there and things are kind of muffled, it's kind of hard to hear. Yes, you'll still be yelling, but not everybody's hearing it. So it's kind of like, it's a little bit of a different environment then.
The energy is going to be completely different. Look at the numbers right over there. The stats are telling us everything. Only a 13 minutes game with OG taking so many battles with so many kills.
I want you guys to pay attention to OG Muchen. His team fight rate, 92%. This Liang was everywhere. That's why they had so much success, because the suppression was always available. And that's how OG really stomped their competition here in Alpha Gaming.
I mean, they were setting it up. Every single highlight, and we'll see exactly how these team fights started, was with Munchen starting it out with that control. Once somebody was locked down, they might not have gotten all the kills, especially against Yulong, who's very tanky, but it set the tone because APG were like, oh crap, now we need to fight, and they don't really want to take that one.
Exactly. And you know, when things are bad, it gets even worse, especially when you're playing against A.L., specifically this Luna. I want to talk about PHY. This pick, I think it was smart. They wanted to get the lockdown. But when you can't land those frigid prisons, your second skill, then everything becomes immensely harder.
It was really difficult. Yes, he only died twice. And I mean, we shouldn't be like, oh, he died so many times and he ruined the game. It wasn't like that at all. It was the fact that A.L. on the Luna, then you had the Mai Wen, you had so much high-flying acrobatics in your face that it's very difficult to play against because you're very static.
There's no place to run.
Exactly.
Like you want to run away, but as you turn left, there's just someone else just in front of your face.
Yeah. And it's focus for them, right? Because Ke, A.L., and Wen, the three heroes, they're so mobile, they're able to access the backlines. And what does this make available for OG? It means An and Muchen, as the Hoi and the Liang, they have so much space. If you take a look at the replay later, An was just standing still and shooting his arrows for free.
Exactly. You cannot allow that. And that's the problem, that from the other side, from APG, they never found a solution to how kind of try to flank around, try to find the back lane. It was no way that they could actually jump over that mountain.
Yeah, no real chance. I mean, it was going to be a tough one. But again, we were kind of questioning just how much space and time does he need. He had plenty. He was doing the most damage on the team. He was finding, and just the initial push that he had with the rest of the team, just next level.
We have been talking a lot about An and how his performance was amazing, but the MVP for this game is going to go for OG Esports Ke.
This guy, 4-0-7. He provided so much more than just the setup for the team. He actually tanked quite a bit for the team's sake as well. And he was always this first offense is best defense mentality. He pushed them all the way, allowing A.L. to pick his targets, get right into the heart of APG, and use his ultimate, sucked everyone in.
I mean, he was like the perfect tank. He was attracting so much attention. Everybody would be like, oh crap, Keka's on top of me. Like, how are we going to deal with this guy? And then he had the Storm Strike, and he was going from hero to hero and just picking things up. But the biggest thing is the 0 deaths. I know you don't like KDA, kid, but it was really important for this one because he was so aggressive, and the fact that he didn't die, that speaks volumes, and this is why he was the MVP.
This is one of the few days that, once again, I will agree with you. This KDA is absolutely beautiful. You know, the Byron, like, okay, I have tried Byron so many times, and I'm going to take personal lessons from Ke from now on.
I'm telling you, everyone should go back and then just watch the replays of how Ke played on that Byron, because this was a master class that everyone at home should be taking notes. Sadly, that Byron is going to be unavailable for OG Esports, but it's going to be there for APG for grabs.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this draft. This is, of course, the global ban pick. You're not able to pick that same hero again in this series. It's a best of 3. It's not the worst thing, and it mostly comes into play in best of 5s and beyond, but This one right now, if we're talking about meta, I'm not a huge fan of the Flowborn tank as well as the Sun Tzu. The Sun Tzu is like, what, 1 in 5 in the KWC? It really hasn't had too much of an impact here.
Exactly. Actually, this is something that I think we would definitely like to discuss. Flowborn tank here, 0% win rate still in KWC. Is OG going to take a risk and bring it up?
No, I'm pretty sure they won't.
So.
I think APG was like, I like donuts. I'm going to go with the 0% everything.
You know, I'm telling you something. I know that the coaches right now are analyzing what is going on with that Flowborn tank, because going on 0, it's actually very weird. It's very rare that you see on a completely new hero. It means that just we're not having the synergy with the pace.
I agree. I mean, maybe it's just a new introduction because it hasn't been released for that long. So maybe not too much research has been done for this hero just yet.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the research, but it goes both ways, right? It's one of those things where if you continue to play it and you master it and you have that team synergy, you're going to have no issues. But to pull it out in game 1 in a best of 3 with like literally everything on the line, like these are so important every single game, that one is a bit of a risk for me.
It's the KWC, man. It's 2025 KWC, the top level of our competition, of our game. You cannot come in and take this kind of risks.
Well, technically you can. And this is one of the reasons why I love Alpha Gaming, right? Because, look, I have a decent risk-taking level. And I think, look, if the Flowborn tank works, number 1, you have a good result. Number 2, you'll be the first team in KWC to make it work.
Bragging rights.
Yes. I mean, look, nobody on their LinkedIn is like, oh yeah, I was the first team to win with Flowborn in this game in the KWC, right? There's no certificate that does that.
No, but this is something you can't use money and buy. You can farm all the gold in the game. It doesn't give you that stat.
Money does not buy everything, right?
Yes.
Well, it might have bought them a victory if they got a little bit more gold. I'm just saying.
True. I think maybe it's just a matter of gold, right? Not enough farming.
I'm certain that everyone at home right now is having the same question as us, how to make that Flowborn pick work. If you have any good ideas, just send them to us. We want to hear what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, put it in the comments, man.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is that, like, if they had a more standard game where OG Esports aren't able to play with their speed and their pace in the beginning game, where, again, they were just being aggressive, right? I think that, again, if you had that time, Yulong would have flourished. I think we would have seen that, but it's more of a playstyle more than anything else.
I agree. This is why I really like this first pick for Alpha Gaming, right? Instead of being fearful, like we mentioned before, you know what, we're so scared of being invaded, why not be the aggressor? Go and invade their jungle.
So they're going to determine the pace of the game. I'm not going to let you dictate the pace. I am going to be the one with the script in the hand.
Yeah, and we've seen this. Even OG, they picked it up themselves. The pay, that is, because, again, they like to play really fast. Let's see how they counter this sort of strategy. Are they going to go speed for speed, or if it's going to be more standardized?
Exactly. So if you take a look at these stats here, Pei actually very strong early game. He's one of the heroes to pick if you want to have a early entrance into the opponent jungle, take some camps. And not only that, by taking the camp, you're also dwindling the farm and EXP of your opponent jungler.
It said in there that survival was actually pretty low, right? But at the same time, Pei being so mobile, I would say that I would actually contest that survival stats.
True. For Dharma, I would contest this as well because the damage does not feel like that. It feels like he is a full bar of damage. When he catches you on the wall, you're gone.
Immediately disappear.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, just setting it up, the potential, just like a wombo combo truth is, we've seen it time and time again, the potential more than anything else. But if we're looking at this lineup again, slowing the pace down.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the funny thing is that OG Esports, when they were up against Nongshim, Nongshim picked up the Oghren, and they countered with the Pei. Because they wanted to play fast and just, take away the farm from Haku's Oghren. But they've decided, hey, we have the Oghren, we can counter the Pei because we know how to play against it.
I'm telling you, OG Esports knows that Alpha Gaming want to be in charge of it, and they just want to take that back. They will not let it. They will try to farm on that Oghren to try to make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's true. And I talked about chaos on the side of team fights, right? So Alpha Gaming, with this lineup, actually, they can ensue a lot of chaos because Pei, pretty independent. You have Yixing, who can lock people in the board. And you have Fatih, who, through the course of KWC so far, has been played as a disruptor, the pick-off hero, right? He will be a flanking on the sidelines and pick off one important member on your opponents.
It's actually one of the heroes that in these 4 days I have been very impressed with, right? Like, he did not come in as like one of the big meta heroes, right? But has been such a clear and constant answer to most of the clash lanes.
Yeah, and I mean, the sustain, the fact that he's just like very, self-sufficient just in that top lane. I think he has a lot of play, and your teams are starting to really take advantage of that. And plus, I mean, if you don't get the Dharma, sometimes you don't get the Byron. I mean, they've already played that one kind of thing. So it's one of those moments where you're like, this is the next best option.
And he is surprisingly mobile. So if you take a look at the bands of Alpha Gaming, these are the heroes on the farm that they can escape. The Lung taking to the skies. Marco, he can actually TP a short distance. And because the ban coming in from OG's own self, the Arlie, you're left with very small choices for mobile farm laners.
Yeah, I mean, but they're going to go with the Gen.G. Again, it's the Ogren style, which is like the slow and steady sieging. They don't really need to have that high flying, like An with the Hou Yi in the last game, right? He just has to work on his perfect positioning. He'll be fine.
It's just a matter of just finding the right place just to deal damage and then do not mind about anything else.
Correct.
Okay, and this is also why I like this pick, the Chano. Actually, surprisingly long range in the farm lane matchup as well. And with the stuns and the heals coming out from Yu Huan, who is going to be piloted by Saber here, there is a good chance of winning that farm lane at the start of this laning phase.
Can someone please help me to make sense of that last Lady Trend pick, please?
Okay, so the Lady Chen, actually one of her strengths is fighting in tight corners.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting that, look, the Pei is going to come and invade the jungle. So there is a very high chance that Alpha Gaming will ensue fights in the jungle space, which is a very tight corner. And Lady Chen loves tight corners.
So they're just trying to use the map structure just to try to force them. If you are to jump into my jungle, where it's like, actually, as you just mentioned, really tight, I'm just going to freeze you in there.
Exactly. So first skill, Ocean of Tears. Second skill, Flowing Side. Everyone stuck together. And once you hit level 4, Destructive Deluge, the ultimate of Lady Chen, it could be quite disastrous on the side of Alpha Gaming. But Alpha Gaming, they have a lot of potential control and big burst damage in the Pei, the Fatih. These are all options that Alpha Gaming, if they play the cards right, this could be a beautiful game.
Holler, as you see over here, just both of the compositions, who do you think we're going to have to be paying attention to?
I mean, obviously, it's got to be Yulong, right, on this Pei. Is he able to get that farm? Is he able to steal away from DAO as much as possible? Because then DAO really struggles. I mean, without that farm, he's going to want that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is going to be Game 2 between Alpha Gaming and OG Esports. If OG Esports takes the victory here, they're going to take a ticket directly to the top 8. On the other hand, if Alpha Gaming is about to not take the victory, if they are unable to stop them from that, they will have to go to the lower bracket final.
Yeah, so tournament experience at risk, because it could be a very fatigue run for you if you lose this series.
Yeah, it could be very tiring. I mean, you have to play that other one, but Dao Han just trying to stay alive.
Oh, he does not make it. What? First blood actually goes to Kirka, and he makes it out with a sliver of health.
I mean, that was like a perfect beginning. I mean, look, the way OG play, they're going to look to just kind of ensure that Mu Chen makes an impact in the other lanes, taking, getting first blood in this one. Absolute gravy for OG.
And we thought that Alpha Gaming was going to have the early game, and immediately, just OG Esports just putting a stop to that plan.
It shows their understanding, because they know that, hey, with a Yu Huan and a Chano, you don't win the lane in the farm lane, so let's make a play elsewhere.
That's going to be the biggest weakness for them. And OG, again, just being smart. Everything should be funneled into DAO. They're going to be sticking a 3-man squad and just speeding up that farm and letting DAO get that farm.
Yeah, I like this vision opening here by Mushan. As a die idea is so important. Actually making use of a passive to jump into brushes as well. You could be in positions where they don't expect you to be.
I love the fact, like, his Kuka, he had that spider sense. He knew something was astray because Dao Han was being a little bit of aggressive, and he saw in the corner of his eye Yulong making a rotation into the top. I mean, yes, he's going to take this the sprite here, but in the end, Keka surviving, biggest thing for him.
Nothing that he could have done about that, and he did not have to use his flash as well, so it was not actually that costly for him.
Yeah, and actually, right before that pause, I mean, it looked like JD was kind of like stuck in a bad spot. We'll see how that one plays out, but not a great position to be right when this thing starts back up.
Yeah, especially after you've given the first blood, right? So OG in I won't say commanding. I think commanding is still too far ahead, but a comfortable position at this first part of the game.
And they were supposed to be in a little bit more of an uncomfortable position, right? Like, because we actually had mentioned again about the early game. but let's wait and see what is going to happen in there. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, and we're going to get back to it as the referees are just trying to fix the problems in build.
I want to point you guys back to that first interaction by Yulong, where he attempted to enter the jungle on the side of OG, but instantly got stopped by DAO on the Ogren as well.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great rotation, right? Great stop there. But I think I want to talk about the comfort level here, because APG need to do a great job of just limiting OG's farm as much as possible, because not only do you make them, on the losing side, but then you quiet them down, right? I think OG right now are just so boisterous, and they love this chaos that things have been happening because they've been winning, but you need to shut them up in a way.
At the same time, like you think about Alpha Gaming having to protect all of their resources, do you think that they need to prioritize the invasion at this moment of the game?
I think it'll help. I think at this point, if you see DAO in like the top side, you got to go to the south side. You got to take whatever is given at this point. You got to be aggressive, which means you got to play a little bit more risky, which can really bite you in the butt if things don't go well, though.
So decision making is so important in this particular game, and in fact all the games as well, even your ranked games. And in order to make full use of this, you need information. So right now, both teams, the roamers and mid laners, have to do a very important job. They have to open the map up.
I mean, there's a lot of, I would say, both of those roamers really need to step up this one, because they're the ones that create that support and that chaos, because you have that extra number, and then the potential stun, it's going to be key.
Yeah, but I feel like for APG, it's a safer chance for them, because as a Yuan, you are able to check brushes from range. As a Diadea, you kind of have to face check the brushes, and then hopefully you get out if you get caught.
Yeah, but Yuan, right? It's the second most pick in the KWC. It has just so much impact. Teams are really feeling it. I mean, the flexibility in terms of role that it's played, and also the gameplay around that sustaining sort of like potential stun with the AoE. You would just have a lot in this kit.
Actually, I'm pretty curious, right? How does Alpha Gaming go with this Yuan pick? Do you go for the tank version of it so they can soak up damage? Or do you go for the magic build to maybe add on to the aggression that is already complemented by Pei?
I think you go tank. You got to just more about the sustain, staying alive, cycling those skills. Because if you look at the rest of the squad, you have Fatih, Pei, and as well as the channel, you have so much damage, right? You don't need any more damage.
Really? I disagree with you. I love damage. And I think if the Yuan is able to go damage, then that's another form of aggression. And then you kind of create the same situation that OG created in Game 1, which is offense is the best defense. You have to stay safe.
But, okay, while I understand that,
oh, great.
The biggest thing about this one is that the enemy team, OG that is, has an Ogren. Right? Once he gets online and he starts hitting people and he's just kind of survivable, he's able to outlast your damage, he's going to slice you down because you don't have anything but offense.
I see where you're going with, but once again, I'm going to have to disagree with you. Look, Ogren hates burst potential. He hates being stunned up. And like if you go full damage, you can burst the Ogren down. And once Ogren is dead, what do you have left on the side of OG?
All right, I think for the sake of this argument, you were just arguing to argue? I don't really know.
Ooh,
I don't know about this one.
You know what? I'm a peace-loving person. I'm
Disagree. I know you. There's nothing peace about you, my friend.
What? I'm so peaceful. You know, I take the buffs from my farm laners just to let them know how peaceful I am.
Yes.
Because I don't want to fight.
I reported you that game, by the way. But yeah, no, going back into this one, I do feel like, look, the world is their oyster in APG, right? Because again, setting the tone, having that early game Pei, being aggressive, a lot of the pressure is on you, and if you're doing well, you can do whatever you want, right?
True, but they're on a timer.
Yeah, they are on a timer, and that's my concern, right? If things don't win, if you're not able to win in like the first 15 minutes or something like that, you're kind of in a bad spot. You're not going to be able to take them over the edge because OG, with this Ogren build, and they have the lineup to really support him, you're going to have a tough time.
Okay, so I just want to back up my stance here. Look, I think they should go for the magic build because so far in KWC, the win rate for Yuan has been 42.86%. Okay, but let me add this on. Most of the games that have been won in KWC where a player picks up Yuan has been won with her building the magic attack build.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, fake news. Fake news. I question all of it, everything. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. No, because I feel like you have like that steamrolling game and you're doing well, and you have that. I mean, you still have sustain. You still have that healing kit. It doesn't go away.
True.
But again, look, 15 minutes, right? That's all OG need to do. Just get to that 15-minute mark. Well, let's see where DAO.DAO's at. If he's got those items, I think it could be rough for APG. Again, more pressure on them to perform.
Okay, so we know that OG is the team that is touted as the stronger team in this matchup. But there's one player that I'm so curious about, which Isaac, you mentioned before. Wen on this Lady Gen. They love this counter-attack initiation where she's able to get them in tight corners. But what happens if Wen dies? All of this detriment, this deterrence is gone.
I mean, it's going to slow things down, which is going to be tough, right? And that's why he needs to stay alive as much as possible. Also, I like the fact that you're like, Wen is on the Lady John, and you're kind of like rhyming a bit a little.
Oh, I'm actually a pseudo-rapper here.
Pseudo-rapper is.
Yeah, I rap burritos.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being online. This is the KWC 2025, the top-level competition of Honor of Kings. We're live from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. This is the Esports World Cup. Right now, we are having a little bit of technical difficulties. We are trying to fix that. But don't worry, we're going to stay here with you. If you need to go real quick to go and get some water, go and do that. There's no problem. But we're going to stay here just all the way until the referees can give everyone a fair chance to compete.
Okay, so let's talk about this clash lane. You know, for Dao on this Fatih, do you think he's going to have a big impact in this game?
I mean, he's got to have a big impact, right? I think a lot of the space and the fact that, like, the rest of the squad, very squishy, right? Who else is going to be that frontliner? He needs to ensure that, yes, if he's going to go with the damage, he's going to have that sustain. He needs to ensure that he's up front and being in your face, making it difficult for the rest of the squad. I mean, getting on top of Wen is going to be one of his big priorities.
That's true. Actually, we have seen two different play styles on the Fatih from all the different teams that have picked him in KWC. So there are two options you can explore. So one, like you mentioned before, in their face, throwing those slashes out. But also, the other style of playing this Fatih is actually going for the flank and picking off those side laners, maybe going for the roam or trying to dive onto the farm laners.
But like, okay, then you have to really rely on the Yuan to kind of be that frontliner, right? And then it goes back to the item build, because who else is going to be that frontliner to just kind of soak up the initial initiation, right? So he needs there, he's got the unending sorrow, he will survive, but he just might get insta-gibbed like if he doesn't have any items at all.
True, but if you take a look at how they play, look, APG, Alpha Gaming, they benefit from singulator and isolated team fights, right? And this is where I think Kirka as a Dharma is going to suffer, because Dharma wants you in a pack. He wants you grouped together.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're looking at the squad from Alpha Gaming here, most of them, it's like one of those things where like you envision how the formation is. Like if you're watching a football match, like what is like a 2-3-2, that kind of stuff, right? In this way, I feel like Fatih's kind of up front. You have the Yuan right behind him, like, or, you know, like towards the front line. And then you have all of the other guys on the far end at the maximum distance of their spells and their attacks.
This makes me so curious about the coach's notes, right? We talk about formation. Are we going to change to a diamond formation? Are we going to change it to a circle formation? You know, because these shapes matter. Whether you know of this or not, actually in team fights, these compositions and these positions matter, because it then opens up a couple of doors for you to explore on the side of Alpha Gaming.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be key. I mean, if we're looking at the OG side, you have the Ogren. He's going to be like a 1-4 formation. I mean, depending on where Kuka wants to be. But it looks like we're underway. We are back in the game.
Yep, this, okay, so we will reset it at this point. JD having a decent time. And this is that jump shot that JD has that I think could be a problem for any member on the side of OG.
Yeah, if he's able to just kind of get on top of you. Like, you can outrange him, but PHY.
Oh, look at that. PHY just being taken super low. He's going to have to run away with the help of his passive.
Still
maintaining initiative, just that passive, just keeping alive. I was like, oh, that's going to be it. He had no chance, but PHY far superior on the zero.
Yeah, but that's now an opening on the side of OG, right? Now they know they can be aggressive, and PHY cannot make those big plays.
Yeah, no big play. I mean, again, it's going to be a little bit of a detriment. It's going to be tougher for him, but you still have Yulong. Again, can be very aggressive, has that damage. So you can't really just find PHY and just kind of kill him.
Interesting. I'm not sure whether you guys noticed, but our friends at home, Dao actually built the Boots of Fortitude, which helps it with physical defense. And I feel like you're kind of disrespecting Wen here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's going to definitely help them out. I think Dowhan's very smart, understanding just who he's at risk for. So he needs to just stay alive and ensure that he does.
He might need them just right now for the laning phase, right? Like he might just want to sell them and they just buy different things in the next ones.
Yep, one gets caught out, will go untargetable at this point, uses a flash, makes it out, one is still alive, but here comes the ultimate from Saber, they want to get the kill, but the heals are here, and OG make it out!
Oh, Wu Chen with the heart link, keeping Wen alive just a little bit longer so that he sees the light of day.
You all want to catch Mu Chen coming in, but Dao he's falling very low, uses his ultimate. Conductor shows to survive for the moment, but here comes the TP. They're looking for the opening. Kaka, can he find it?
APG came in, they tried to push in, and they at the end take that kill. They wanted to get Wen earlier, he ran away, but they came and found him at the end.
What was he doing there?
I mean, just a little far front. I mean, look, Yulong on the pay will sometimes catch you off guard. I mean, the mobility and the range, you have a lot of distance that you can cover, and Wen got caught out, especially since he used his flash earlier.
It's one of those good things about just being so fast, like the rotation from that pay in the map is just one of the fastest that we have.
And you're kind of seeing exactly how the meta is starting to shift. It's all about that speed, getting your farm going, being aggressive, and taking things away.
Oh, what a stop down here. Koko is falling low. Dao has to help him out. And with that, they get the kill, they get the Tyrant. Everything looking good for Alpha Gaming if they can make it out here, and they do.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good for APG in that regard. I mean, they're up 2-1 in terms of kills, and they're taking what they can. But Yulong being aggressive, this is, again, the power of the pay. Yulong didn't have the greatest of games, to be honest. I think it was more of a draft issue more than anything else, but we're seeing just how great of a player Yulong is.
Right now, Alpha Gaming just kind of controlling a little bit more of the tempo, which was their main strategy since the beginning.
It's all about tempo, right? Between these two teams, these two titans going into this one, you knew that it was going to be about speed. And OG right now, they need to match tempo of a pay. Not easy, but you need to stay alive, and they've done a great job thus far. They do have an end game, though, as they are a late game lineup that could be very strong then.
And one more thing, nobody has taken a T1 tower just yet, and looks like Kaka will be under pressure.
It's going to be 3 people coming in trying to force Kaka away. He's going to have to let that tier 1 turret go, but they're going to mirror the same thing down, and they're going to just trade turrets.
Yeah, just trade here, but OG will take what's given. They're going to look to be pushing that bottom, already at the bottom T2. So OG, again, nothing. Oh, going in.
Ooh. Yep, one flashes out, but he's stunned up. Gets taken out as well. Saber going to be credited with that kill for now, as OG looking a little bit shaky for the first time.
Is it OG or is it just Wen? Because I feel like Wen right now is not feeling great.
Yep, and he's running for his life. Will not be able to do it. Down and comes back into the game. Alpha Gaming, this is a new life.
The rotations from mid to farm are just working perfectly for Alpha Gaming. Right now, the script is going their way. Pay becoming bigger and bigger as time passes. Look at that one more time.
Yep, too much. Mu Chen taken down. Okay, Kaka gets the return kill onto Yulong. And this is going to be a big moment. OG, they just need to finish the job. But they're outnumbered. One gets a surprise kill. And the call, they're going in again.
It's a 2-for-1 in favor of OG on that one. What a nice play by Keka, just setting it up. Man, that guy comes in like a lightning bolt. You didn't expect it, and what an amazing play there.
And the problem is that right now, Dao has control on the Azure Golems. Now he's gonna got a timer, he's got the jungle right now, and he might just turn things again for OG Esports.
And again, it's all about that stability, just the slowing down and the pace that OG are able to kind of weather the storm of this Yulong pay, take it down, and Dao's like, no, guys, we're fine. We just need to calm down. We're going to continue to farm and play our game.
Composure is key.
Yeah, you can't be too greedy. In fact, I think at this point, PHY actually was a little bit greedier. He went for the Stone of Sorcery. Weren't just full-on sped run that Venomous Staff, so they have anti-heal now.
Yeah. The potential steal.
He might want to take that one. He won't be able to take it away. Yulong is going to have to run away and put in some pressure in the mid lane.
Yeah, man. This is one of the strengths, right? The pay, right? All of that movement hang on PHY. Gets the lockdown. I don't think they want to do much here. It's all about the map, the macro play for Alpha Gaming.
And look at how they're moving from like top to bottom and just moving throughout. APG understanding that the limits, they want to put the pressure on. Taking those towers really solidifies the net worth. It really helps you out and gets the snowball going. But the longer, again, the game goes for OG, and keeping those towers alive is going to be key for them.
I'm telling you, OG cannot have contested the rotation speed from APG. As long as APG just keeps doing this, OG is just gonna run out of breath for sure.
Okay, they do have the goalie on the side of OG, but the map not looking too good for them. Alpha Gaming, I like this confidence coming in from them. You can't allow them to affect your mood and performance.
I mean, you can't, and that's the ideal way. But OG right now, I like the way I think they have an edge.
Yep, the ball comes in to lock down the important members, but it is APG that gets caught out. Dowham, the first to fall, and with the ultimate coming from Muchen, that was a big game changer.
Yeah, Dowham, he got the green light. They thought they had an amazing board, but OG were like, hey, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. They made him pay.
Yeah, they get the second kill. Kirka did actually have to expend his ultimate at this point, but the timing is so clean from OG.
The momentum right now for OG might dictate the destiny of this game. The Vanguards are coming in. They're going to take Tier 1 and Tier 2 turrets as well.
Yeah, OG looking just way too strong, and this has got to be very disheartening for an APG lineup that wanted to win that early game, and now they're behind. This is not a situation they wanted to be in when they drafted this lineup.
But it's all about looking for openings, right? I like this fact that the recovery Yulong actually goes straight for the Crimson buff. They make a trade, not the best trade available, but you take what you can.
You'll
Hey,
take
it's way
whatever.
better than taking nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And with that, you know, Yulong completes his rotation spike. This is the final form of the aggressive attack jungle item.
I mean, look, OG starting to group up here. They're having a tough time. APG need to make some sort of play, look jungle invade, try to get themselves in this one because it's not a great situation. They are falling further and further behind.
Yes, and I just want to point out, Saber actually went for the tank build here.
Okay, so he went the right way.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Right way, maybe, but for now it looks like a left instead.
I mean, it's the smart play. They need to stay alive. I mean, yes, they are losing, which is not great for them, but somebody needs to be able to take these hits.
Oh, they have eyes on Yulong. Yulong is going to be caught right over there, but he's going to have to move into the jungle, and the fight might start over here in the mid lane.
Yep, the ball laid down, doesn't catch anyone, but An has been stunned up, gets healed up, and Dao looking for an opening, but a T2 on the bottom, available for the taking.
I mean, it was a bit of a push here, but now they might be caught off. This is very scary for Dowhan right now.
Yep, flash committed by Dowhan. They want to catch the Tiger instead. It looks like Yulong, he's running for his life. Anyone able to catch this guy? No, they will give up.
Indecision right over there from OG Esports. They wanted to go, and they went to two different directions. They did not get one nor the other.
I mean, they're trying to go for Yulong. Just too much speed, but they might caught him here.
Yep, they're split by the decision, and APG, they're looking good at this fight. They get the kill on the An. There's not enough damage, but hang on. Dao survives this. Get the blood rage as well. Oh no, a huge turnaround. Oh gee, they make them pay. 4 different members down as APG crumble.
Triple kill for Dao. He comes in, stands up, gets the Tyrant, and right now they're parading towards the high ground hauler.
A Dao with the amazing bait of that blood rage right at the last minute.
Nice catch as well. A godlike for Dao as they look to end this game, but PHY, he's coming back 3 seconds more.
I mean, but no mid T3. Yes, you gotta deal with the outside T2s. I mean, that's the only thing slowing them down, but OG right now in full control.
Yeah, definitely in full control. I think we've rarely seen a game in KWC where there was so much control like this.
No, like OG, look at that. Look, just check on the replay. Break that down for us, Holler.
I mean, look, Dao gets so low, and you're thinking, I got a chance on them, but the rest of APG are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him, not able to kill him out. That blood rage keeping him alive, gets the triple, and he starts to take out even your base.
I think Muchen was really the MVP in that particular fight. That the Destined encounter, the ultimate coming in, was such a life changer.
It was huge, and I mean, it really turned the fight on that one, and now OG looking for more.
They won't be able to take on Yulong, but they will be able to take on the Tier 2 turret.
I'm not sure where they can feel the tension, but I feel and fear for Yulong. They have a little bit of a push going down on the bot side, but the attention here, OG wants to put pressure on the top side, and it looks like, okay, still in full control.
I mean, the biggest thing about this is that APG, they have a little bit of an avenue in the sense that the bottom lane has been pushed so far in. OG need to respond. Keka is there to help clean up. But this is, again, OG's game to lose. They need to continue to push, again, take away that map control.
That farm lane that you just mentioned right over there, Holler, might be the key for APG just to turn things around, right? Because in the moment that someone needs to go and clean that, they're going to have a priority over the Overlord.
That opening is still available, though, to be honest. Yes, they're down by about 5,000 or 4,000 at this point for Alpha Gaming. But if they can pick off one of the members, especially An, I think 4v5, it works perfectly for Alpha Gaming.
Oh, look at
this.
that.
Yulong looks like he's going to get caught in. They're trying to go for him.
They get the smite, the slow as well, slammed against the wall. Yulong no longer in this game. You have a push at the bottom side, but your base is under pressure.
I mean, he had to do what he could, right? You have to split push. You're probably wondering, why is this guy so isolated? What's he doing? But it's providing that space for that bottom lane. That T3 is under siege here.
It should be someone, but not Yulong. That Yulong was a little bit too much of a gamble. I would have put that Fatih on that task.
I mean, you can't blame them for taking a risk because at this point, they're so far behind. Any risk is worth taking.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to have gone. It's either Daohen or Yulong. I think Yulong was just like, okay, I'll use my mobility to potentially get out. He just got caught out. OG makes him pay yet again.
Yep, Shadow Overlord. This is a big marker of success for OG. You're able to clear off one lane of minions and get that Shadow Overlord flying down that lane.
I mean, look, Dao 7-0-3, 10,700 gold. I mean, he's outclassed Yulong. He's outclassed everybody, taking everything and controlling this game.
You mentioned that he was one of the people that we needed to be looking at as he jumps in one more time, forcing PHY to put the
commit all the flashes as well, totally immune, but it's still dead for the side of PHY as they're looking for the opening. T3, hang on, Yulong has been caught once again, and even with the protection, Kaka, he gets the team fight and get maybe the team wipe as well. OG, it is an opening for them. T3 on the top as well.
I mean, they took 3 members down. OG looking to just end this game. What a flawless game thus
They
far.
want to finish this one, and the bangers are coming in, kid.
Yep, OG, there is no stopping them. The champions, they will make it into the upper brackets of KWC.
Group Kings it is for OG. Flawless game. I mean, looking at this series, watching this team play, and at this level, all the other teams need to be quivering in their boots.
They need to be looking at the footage because right now OG Esports, every single time that they come in, they win in a majestic fashion.
Yes, and for all of our players looking in from across the globe, OG, take a look at his team, take a look at the decisions they make, learn from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Look at these guys. Like, these are the guys that you need to be looking out for because you're going to see a lot more of them in the KWC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many different markers of success that OG has shown us today. And APG Alpha Gaming, I think, you know, you have to give them props as well. They really tried to put up a decent fight. But with OG having such a huge and monstrous